is Malena Grosz. I'm 33 years old, and the world is a different place from when I was growing up. The world is a different place from when I graduated high school 15 years ago. If you think about it, LGBTQIA+ communities did not have nearly as much support, understanding, or advocacy. Women's rights has taken a giant leap forward, and part of that is due to the Me Too movement, a hashtag that inspired one of the largest international marches in all of human history. And Black Lives Matter demanded your attention, demanded that you listen to the discrimination that has been prevalent for far too long. These are social movements that started at a grassroots level. These are social movements that started in gathering spaces, from getting people to come together. But you know, there's one aspect of community organization and social movements that doesn't get a lot of respect or attention, and that is our nightlife and our party cultures, our party communities, the places where people come together to celebrate, to connect. And these movements that we're talking about start in these places, but gain momentum through the digital spaces. And I am here to share with you that I think it's time for some social change to happen in our party spaces. I think it's time for us to create the movements, to create the party scenes that we want to see, because it's important. I love to party. Daniel, do you love to party? How about all of you? Do you like to party? Yes. You know, partying is important. It's good for our souls, you know? Like, I love just getting people together. When you're going to see some music, you know that everybody is there to see that same music. And you are just gonna jive to the same rhythm. And everyone is just gonna dress up, show their fashion, show their costumes. Maybe there's a theme. I love that. And there's parties that incorporate every different art form into one space. You know, you get visual art and performance and fashion and music all in the same place. But when I talk about party culture, there's a stigma. It can be a trigger for some people because there's a lot of bad things that happen. You know, there's a lot of bad headlines about college binge drinking culture and hazing and rape. These things happen. But there's also a lot of good things that happen. And if we can support and build on the good things, we can create more of that. And in our communities, we can create a lot of positive change through just getting people together and creating the kinds of healthy party spaces that we want to experience. So I've dedicated 3 years of my graduate program to studying party culture, and I'm fascinated by the sociology and the history of these places, and I'm fascinated by the cities and how each city has its own flavor and a different way of expressing themselves. So I've been going to a lot of parties. I've been meeting a lot of people and just experiencing these beautiful communities in different parts of the country and thinking, what can I do to help these communities? What can I do to help create the social change that I want to see? I've been developing the Party Pro Toolkit. This is a website, a resource that includes podcast stories and interviews with party professionals from Detroit, New York, and Phoenix. It will also include templates, how-to guides. This is actually a shared source that is going to continue to build information to empower communities so that grassroots, DIY, the underground scene can build better, healthier, more inclusive social spaces in their party scenes. And I started with Phoenix because I love Arizona. I've been in Arizona for 15 years. And I want to share the amazing things happening in my desert metropolis and the whole state. I also want to share with you about Detroit, this city that represents the rise and the fall of the American dream. But you know what has never failed Detroit? Music, art, creation. Detroit has such a strong level of communal accountability. Some of their venues don't even need to have security. And then we've got New York, the most iconic party city in the world. I mean, this is where a lot of party professionalism is born. I got the chance to talk with Ariel Palitz, the New York City nightlife mayor. It's incredible that we have a nightlife mayor. And I got to speak with Kay Burke of House of Yes, one of the most immersive, performative, inclusive, and consent-forward music venues in the city. I also got to talk to Soul Summit. These guys have been producing a free event in Fort Greene Park every summer, multiple events throughout the summer, that quickly built from a couple hundred to 1,000 to 7,000 to 10,000 people. And I want to share these stories with you. And I want you to contribute to what you know, what your communities know. Who should I be talking to? What resources do you have? This is just the beginning. So when you came in, there's a few stickers at the front if you'd like to take one. It's the partyprotoolkit.com, and it's a passion project of mine, and I'd really love to share it with you and for you to be involved. Thank you.